Hi everyone, Mumbles here. I just want to let you all know that today's game video was created in collaboration with Guardian of Gamers. Please, if you haven't already, do make sure to check out their site. And to Guardian of Gamers, thank you for allowing me to review this game. Now, on to the video. Welcome back everyone to another episode of Mumbles. Today, I'm here to bring you guys another game review. And the game that I'm reviewing today is one that actually just launched recently, and it is a racing game. That game, and I hope I don't butcher this name, I apologize if I do. The name of that game is Dakar 18. Now before I get into any of that, I have to ask you guys a huge favor. If you haven't already, please do make sure to smack that subscribe button and also ring-a-ding-ding that little bell. Doing both of those not only helps the channel, but it will help you keep up to date with our daily videos. Now without further ado, let's jump into this game review. So let's talk about Dakar 18. Dakar 18 is made by a company called Big Moon Entertainment, and they have made games such as Flat Out 4, as well as Police Simulator, and a couple other games that you may or may not have heard of, but those were their two most notable games that they made. Now this game can be picked up for $59.99 and is available on multiple systems. Today we're reviewing it on the Xbox One, but it is also available on the PlayStation 4 and PC. So what is Dakar 18 about? Basically, this game is based on a real-life racing series called Dakar. Now, this racing series happens every so often, and basically what it is a bunch of drivers and teams get together, and they basically run in different areas, and they have to go through different checkpoints and things, and it's basically a race against the clock and each other. Now, the unique thing about this type of racing is it is a type of rally racing. Now, what do I mean by that? Basically, there is a navigator that is in each car to help navigate the driver and tell them which way to go. So, the game does as good of a job as it can to capture this aesthetic of real life. Now, with that in mind, let's talk about the graphics, the soundtrack, and the controls. First off, the graphics in this game, they're really not anything we haven't seen previously. With other racing games coming out with such clean, crisp graphics, I have to be honest and say that I wasn't really very impressed with the graphics in this game. They're just okay. Soundtrack-wise, this game kind of has the same song playing throughout it, so there's not really a big difference here, and that is a little disappointing as well, as it could really use more music throughout the game. Now, control-wise, the controls are rather easy to understand. You have your normal gas and brake, and then you can get outside of your car and do different things such as jump or help your competitor out and hook him up to the back end of your car so you can pull him, things like that. And basically that is what the controls for this game is. Let's talk about the gameplay in Dakar 18 now. Dakar 18 is more of a navigation game than it is an actual racing, gotta go fast, speed game. So this game is much more about having your car pointed in the correct direction and hitting that checkpoint than it is about having a car that is super fast, because if you miss the checkpoint, there's no point. So Dakar does a good job of actually implementing a system in which the player has no idea where they're going. And they compensate this, in most cars, by having a navigator introduced. There is also a roadmap introduced in this game, and by roadmap I mean it's basically a directional compass navigator thing. You'll see it in the gameplay section, or you'll see it in the gameplay video rather, and basically it helps direct you which way you should go. Now there's no visual indicators on where checkpoints are unless you're playing it on rookie, and then there is a bit of a gauge at the top, but otherwise this game kind of throws you in deep water and asks you to basically find this checkpoint, go to the next checkpoint, oh by the way, you're racing everybody else. Now that might all sound fine and dandy, but unfortunately, Dakar 18 suffers from some very massive cons. The first con that I have to say is that in a game that is about navigation, constantly the navigator seems confused. For example, and I will put this actual audio in the gameplay right now.
500, hairpin right to cap 172, straight to the dunes. Cap is not this way. Pay attention to the cap, hairpin right.
As you can see, I hit the checkpoint. but the navigator said I was going the wrong way. So that is our first con. The navigator gets confused, and it's confusing for a driver who is trying to, pick the right way to go when the in-game computer navigator doesn't know what's going on. Now, the second con that this game suffers from, unfortunately, is it does have a steep learning curve. Now, in order to navigate without a navigator, such as if you're on a bike, you have to really learn to read what they call the road map. It'd be the thing on the right side of the screen, and be able to understand which direction and things to go. Because unlike when you have a navigator in the car, if you are on a motorcycle by yourself and you're pointed the wrong direction, you can go for hours and there will be no indicator telling you, hey, you're going the wrong way, dum-dum. Now, another con to this game is at times you will hit random things, random patches of sand that will slow you down, and there won't be any visual indicator that this kind of thing is coming up. It makes it for very confusing gameplay. For example, at times I could be running through the desert just fine, and all of a sudden I would hit a patch of what I can only assume is sinking sand, and I would slow way down. Now, another con, and I'm sorry, this game has a lot of cons. Another con that this game unfortunately suffers from is the lack of bike control. Now, what do I mean by this? When you go to ride a bike in this game, a motorcycle, in most games you'd be able to lean back and forth, pop wheelies, do things like that. Not so much in Dakar. Dakar basically puts you on a motorcycle and treats it like it's a car. I'm not kidding. It treats it like it's a car. You can't lean, you can't move forward, you can't move backwards. You can kind of go side to side, but it's very weird looking, and I just really did not like that aesthetic of the motorcycle riding at all. Because I should be able to lean back and forth and flip over and do flips and things like that. And that wasn't included in this game. Now, the final con that I have for this game, other than a personal one of mine, which I'll get to in a minute. But the final con that I have for this game is that this game takes place on one big track. Okay? So you have like 8 events. Once you complete those 8 events, there's nothing after it, guys. That's it. You can play it as many times as you want, but the checkpoints don't change. You will be going around the same area over and over and over again. So once you memorize the location of each checkpoint, what's the point? You don't need the navigator. You don't need pretty much anything they provided with you because you know the track. Now, the final con that I have for this game is, this is just a personal one. I would like the ability to create your own racer. They have racers and race teams in this. They don't have the ability to create your own racer or your own race team. And that is kind of a negative in my opinion, because it would be really cool to just be able to create a Mumbles type character, run around and have fun. So with all that in mind, let me give you guys my score of Dakar 18. Now, I gotta preface this all by saying, I hate knocking newer creators because, it discourages game companies from trying different things. But I also have to be honest to you guys. For a $59.99 game, this game plays more like a $10 game. That's just my personal opinion. People who love the Dakar series are going to absolutely love this game. People who love rally racing are probably going to love this game. People who love that kind of thing are going to love this game. But in a broad audience standpoint, this game does a lot of things that could be done better. It's got a lot of bugs. It's got just issues kind of all over the place. And it's for that reason, guys, as much as I hate to do it, I gotta give Dakar 18 a 4 out of 10. Now, this is a game that if it was like 10 or 20 bucks, I could see giving it a 5 or a 6. Yeah, it's only 10 or 20 bucks. But for a $59.99 game, I gotta say, I need more content in it. I need better navigation in it. I just need a lot of different things from it that I didn't really see or get from Dakar 18 in its current state. So as disappointing as that is, That's what it's going to get on today's Mumbles review. Anyways, guys, this has been my review of Dakar 18. I hope you guys all enjoyed this. Please, again, make sure to smack that subscribe button, smack that like button, and smack all those buttons. And I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye-bye, everyone. Take care.